friends! Welcome back to our channel if you've seen our videos before, and if you are new, my name is Hope.
My name is Abby.
And we're
the Disney Sisters. Today is a rather gloomy day outside. It's storming up a storm.
Wow. It's very stormy.
It's very stormy, which makes me feel a little bad for everyone who's here.
I know.
In Florida today.
Because,
yeah, the sky decided it was time to downpour. But today, it's actually perfect theming, because today we are going to be doing the Disney Villains tag. We were tagged to do this by our friends Rowan and Taryn over on Rowan's channel, The Disney Damsels. We'll link that video and both of their channels in the description if you want to go see their answers to these questions.
At the end of this video, we will be mentioning the channels that we are tagging to do this video as well.
So there are 13 questions to this tag, and let's just jump right in, get our villain side on. Let's just put a little disclaimer here, by the way. We're not really villains fans. We're more for the good side, so if you haven't figured that out yet, you probably haven't been around our channel a long time. Yeah. But we're going to try and channel all of our friends who are villains fans today. Just get in their mindset.
Get our villainous on.
Let's get our moon faces. We're gonna give it our best shot, so let's jump in. Question 1. Who is your favorite villain and why?
I don't necessarily know that I have like a favorite villain.
Yeah.
So I put the villain that used to make me so mad as a kid because I did not like the way he was treating my girl, Cindy. So you know who I'm talking about. And that is Lucifer the cat.
Oh, he's the worst.
Honestly, I don't know if he qualifies as like the sidekick character more than the actual villain, but he's basically just like the biggest bully ever. So like he'll just do things to make more work for Cinderella and to just laugh at her and try to eat the mice, and he's just mean, but like in a bully type way, not in an evil type way.
Right.
So he just does things to make more work for Cinderella, so yeah. I just used to get so mad at him.
I still do. Anytime I watch the movie, I'm like, oh, Lucifer's the worst, you know?
So that's why I put him for this category.
Yeah. My favorite villain is kind of an obscure one, which Taryn actually shouted her out in their video, and I was really excited, because my favorite villain is Mad Madam Mim from The Sword in the Stone. And the reason that I think that I like her so much is that she's not really super... Like, she is super evil, but in, like, a crazy way, not necessarily in, like, a calculating way. She just likes to cause havoc. And I think she's funny, and I enjoy the battle scene between her and Merlin. Which
yeah.
I just love that scene so much. And she's kind of underrated. Her song's really fun. Yeah, I just really like Madam Mim. Question 2. A villain you would love to get in trouble with. Honestly, I don't want to get in trouble with any of them.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want to, like... Because they all end up...
Defeated.
Right. So why would you want to be defeated?
I don't know.
So I kind of went a more creative route with this, and I don't know, you guys can be creative with me, but we actually looked up a list of villains on the internet, the good old internet, so that we could get like an idea of all of the villains, and there are a lot more than I was thinking off the top of my head, so I'm glad we did that.
Yeah.
But on that list were the villains of the 100 Acre Wood, and that is Heffalumps.
The Heffalumps and Woozles.
And so I was like, huh. Now technically, yes, they could be villains or they could not be, because like Lumpy is not a villain.
Depends on what movie you're talking.
Yeah, so it's like, for the purposes of this video, we're gonna say that they're villains, because the gang thinks that they're villains and that they're evil and bad. So I would love to run with the Heffalumps because that would mean that I get to be in the 100 Acre Wood and basically just play all day long.
Yeah.
So
they do seem like they have a lot of fun every time in their scene. They're having a grand old time.
And like Lumpy looks so nice.
Yeah.
So
and getting to hang out with Lumpy means you get to hang out with Roo and the rest of the gang.
So whichever Heffalumps you're thinking about, whether they're good or bad or old or new, I would love to run with the Heffalumps.
That's a great answer. What I put was Maleficent, because I figure she could keep me out of any real trouble. Because she's pretty powerful.
That's true,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, obviously she gets killed by Philip and stuff, and I would rather be friends with Philip and Aurora than be against them, but for the purposes of channeling our inner villains today, we're so bad at this, but
we're trying, guys. We're trying.
For the purposes of this, I think I'd like to run with Maleficent.
We are definitely trying to channel our inner villains today, because I have my ears that have a villain on them, and it's the evil queen.
Other side.
The evil queen. I can't even see the viewfinder, but the evil queen is on my ears in the little top corner.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your potion.
My purple potion ears.
It could be bad. It could be a very evil potion.
Yeah.
We're trying.
We're trying. Okay, question 3 is a villain's bad side you wouldn't want to get on. I mean, any of them. Honestly.
Yeah. The villain that I put for this answer that I would absolutely not want to get on her bad side is Lady Tremaine. She truly used to terrify me as a kid. Kind of still does. Mainly because she is just evil.
She's just a person.
She's just
so
an evil
cruel.
person.
Yeah.
And she, honestly, to me, is more evil than some of the others that are, like, fantasized and have magic and stuff, because she's a real villain. Like, the things that she's evil in, or that she does to Cinderella, are, like, real life things. And so it's just...
She's just got a
cruel
personality. It's terrible.
So I definitely would not want to get on Lady Tremaine's bad side.
The villain that I said I would not want to get on his bad side would be Jafar. 1, he's super creepy. 2, he'd just mind control me, and I would have to be on his side, and it's just, I don't want that. 3, he clearly has no qualms about throwing people off of cliffs. 4, he's super creepy. I'm gonna bring that up again, because he's so creepy, and I don't like him at all. And eventually, like, he gets super genie powers and stuff, and I just wouldn't want to be on his bad side.
I hate Jafar.
Yeah, he's just the worst. Question 4, what is your favorite villain quote?
So, for me, I pretty much said anything that Gaston says is so quotable. Like, he's just quotable. You say hashtag quotable, like, that's Gaston. Because everything from, like, in town, there's only she who's as beautiful as me. And then, when he's like, we'll have 9. Which is like, dogs? No, boys.
Strapping boys.
Like me. So, I just think anything that Gaston says, it's like he's so full of himself and so confident in it that he's just...
He says the silliest things.
But
he means them 100%.
Means every word.
Yeah.
So, I just think Gaston is very quotable.
My favorite villain quote, I also put one, just like anything said by Scar. Yeah. Because Scar, I feel, is so iconic. And just the way he says everything, you know, like, I'm surrounded by idiots.
Yeah, that's one of our favorites.
And forgive me for not jumping for joy, bad back, you know. Like, stuff like that. I just think he's so quotable.
It's like a sassy
And then obviously, like, long live the king, which is terrifying and still scares me to this day. Question 5, what is your favorite villain song? This is hard. I love the villain songs.
It was, and a lot of them are so catchy that, like, they'll get stuck in my head, like, random days, and I'm like, please get out.
Like, I'm not a fan of the villains, but I am a fan of their music.
They get great songs.
They do.
So, I think for this answer, we chose the same song.
Did we?
And that is Be Prepared, which is Scar's big villain song.
I mean, it's just the best villain song.
It's so epic. Like, it's an epic song, and you listen to it, and it gives you, like, chills, and it's like, oh, Mufasa.
It's just the best villain song.
Yeah.
It just is. Like, there's no competition.
Moving on.
Yeah. Question 6. Who is the most relatable villain?
So, for this one, I took relatable as understandable in a way, and I actually chose Lotso from Toy Story 3, because I
did
feel
too.
like... Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I forgot. I was like,
I
what
wonder
was
if we
my
have
answer?
different reasons then.
Yeah.
So, the reason that I chose him was because I feel like as a character, he is not evil for the sake of being evil. I think he had things happen to him in his life that caused him to change, like his character changed. And then he was taking that out on other people. And so I think he wanted people to hurt the way that he was hurting.
He's the quintessential hurt people. That's,
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think he's the most relatable in that some of the things that he went through, people go through, like in real life. Yeah. So, yeah.
The feelings of abandonment and...
loss.
And he only dislikes Woody and the gang because they have a place to go.
They have what he doesn't.
And they know, well, they don't know it, but Woody is convinced that Andy still loves them, and he's right. But, and Lotso's just mad because he didn't get that chance. Even though he tried to get back and it was wrong. So he's got this skewed point of thinking where he's almost feeling like he's protecting them.
And he knows exactly where they were, but they have something that he didn't. And
So, yeah.
Which I think a lot of the villains actually have, like, backstories or, like, reasons why they are the way they are. Some of them are just pure evil because. But some of them have, like, you know, reasons why they're evil. So that's interesting that we both chose Lotso.
I didn't know we picked the same thing. Question 7. Most overrated villain.
So I thought of a few different villains to say for this. I thought about Maleficent. I thought about Ursula, just because they're very popular villains. But I don't necessarily know that they're, like, overrated.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't think of any that were, like, super duper overrated. Other than maybe, like, Marvel villains or something. But that's, again, because they're really popular. So I actually decided to go with a Star Wars villain. And I decided to go with Kylo Ren.
Oh.
Yeah. Just because, I mean, I guess, like, Darth Vader was the same when those movies came out, that he was, like, super popular. But now I feel like Kylo Ren has become more popular than Darth Vader. And that's really kind of confusing to me, but I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people just really like him, so. If you like him, good for you.
We're just not in your camp. Sorry.
Yeah. But we still love you either way.
Yes. For most overrated villain, I actually put Cruella de Vil. And
really?
The reason that I put this is I feel like a lot of the time she's put on the same level as, like, Maleficent or Ursula or, like, the really powerful, really evil villains. And I feel like Cruella's just not to that point. Like, she's just a person who's trying to make a coat.
She's
and, like,
greedy,
yes, she's willing to kill
selfish.
puppies, which is beyond evil. But, like, she's crazy.
Like,
she's not super powerful, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of the time Disney puts her on a lot of the merchandise that they put the other big villains on.
And I also feel like she's slightly less popular than, like, Maleficent and Ursula.
Right. But I feel like she doesn't quite belong on that tier of villain. Question 8 is the most underrated villain.
So I put underrated as in, like, forgotten or, like, just not really popular at all. I actually said Madame Medusa from The Rescuers.
Yeah. She's scary,
She is truly evil. Like, to other humans, to other animals, to everyone. She's very manipulative and evil and... Terrifying. And I think just a lot of people either haven't seen that movie or, like, it's an older movie, so I don't know that a lot of people watch it.
Well, and... honestly, if people do remember The Rescuers, it's for Bernard and Bianca, and it's kind of a, like,
and they're
happy
cute.
Feeling.
They're super cute, yeah.
But Madame Medusa's scary, man.
She's like a true villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
that's
kidnapping and stuff. Yeah. She's...
forcing kids to do her dirty work.
Yeah, really, really evil.
Yeah. For most underrated villain, I put Professor Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective.
Ooh, that's a good one.
He's another one that's pretty terrifying. Particularly with the clock tower scene, he's scary. Like, he scared me as a kid. He's almost a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because he's got this, like, suave, smooth...
nice side.
Nice. I mean, he's still...
like, you think that
he's like a mob boss, kind of. Like, he's pretty...
he's one of those popular cool kid people.
Right. Yeah. And then he's got this alter ego that is, like, really evil and very scary. So, I definitely think he's underrated. The whole movie is underrated, I feel. But, yeah, he's definitely one of those underrated villains. And his songs are pretty catchy.
I do like his songs. And his cape.
Yes.
Cape's
He looks pretty fabulous. Question 9. What is your favorite villain scene in a movie?
This one was hard.
Yeah,
for
there's
me,
a lot of
there are
them.
so many, and I'm like, does that mean like demise scene? Does that mean like intro scene? Does that mean like any scene? So
who has the most iconic entrance?
Exactly.
I think that one has to go to Maleficent, though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The green fire and everything. Well, I think my favorite villain scene has to be Maleficent with the spindle.
Oh, that's a good scene.
When she
I mean, it's a bad scene.
mind controls Aurora up to the spindle, and the dramatic music of that scene
lighting.
when the fairies are chasing her up the tower, like calling her name. And then my ultimate favorite part is when they come up there just to see Maleficent standing there, and she like whips her cape, and then like Aurora's lying on the ground. That is like the most
Here's your precious princess.
epic, like scary moment.
Yeah.
But you have to give it to Maleficent. Like, she knows how to be dramatic.
The girl knows how to make the drama.
Exactly. Like, she's got the drama.
She's literally
check.
standing there waiting for them to get to the top
like,
of the
can you
stairs
think of
with
her, like,
cape out.
preparing that scene, like, covering up
Just
the
to be
body
like-
and being like, okay, hair check. Bam!
Yeah. My favorite villain scene I put was, it's another song, I'm sorry, I can't not choose another song, but it's the mob song scene from Beauty and the Beast.
That is a great one.
And
Very
really
dark.
the scene from the beginning of the mob song to when Gaston falls off the tower, spoiler alert, I guess we should put on this video, that whole part of the movie is so intense and epic, and what I love about it is it really shows, because again, like Lady Tremaine, Gaston's just a person. He doesn't have any powers, but you can tell he has manipulation skills.
Yeah.
And he works this town into a frenzy for this thing they've never even known about until like 5 minutes ago. He convinces this whole town that they have to kill this beast. And it's also epic, and all the torches, and it looks cool, the cinematography's cool, the song is amazing. Yeah, it's such an epic scene. Question 10. If you could choose any movie to watch from that villain's perspective, which movie would you choose, and what would it be called? Now, this was hard for me because I feel like recently Disney's been pretty good about showing us kind of the villain's side of the story. So, like, we get flashes of the good guys and then also kind of...
So we understand more
backstory of the villain. So, it was hard to pick, like... We already know a lot of their side of the story for a lot of the movies recently. But
there are some that you literally have no clue.
Yeah.
Particularly more the older ones.
Yeah.
This one was a fun one for me. I liked being, like, creative and being like, what would this character... Like, if I got to talk to them, you know, about their story. So, I actually chose some sidekicks for this answer. And I chose Jasper and Horace from the 101 Dalmatians, which are, like, Cruella de Vil's henchmen.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I would want to ask them, like, how did you meet Cruella? Like, how did you start working for her?
That would be interesting.
Was she always this obsessed with, like, puppies and fur? Or was she, like, a normal... boss?
Did they know each other
crazy?
Before they worked for her, or did they meet each other?
Were there ever moments in your head where you were like, this is dumb, or this is wrong, or I shouldn't be hunting these puppies? Yeah. So I would love to, like, hear their perspective, and the movie would be called Snatched. Because their whole job is to snatch the puppies, but then they also were kind of like entangled with Cruella, so they felt like they were snatched. So
okay, very cool. A villain movie that I think would be awesome to see would be Syndrome from The Incredibles.
Ooh, yes.
To see kind of how he went from this kid that looked up to Mr. Incredible so much to being the villain that he is later on in life.
Because they don't really talk about that.
Not really.
He just says, you shunned me or something.
Right. But he clearly has been working so hard to get to the point where he can defeat Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
And, like, you see all of these villains, or these other heroes, when he's flipping through the computer that have been terminated or whatever, and you see he's, like, gone through all of this and wiped out so many heroes. And so I think it would be an interesting movie to see.
It's like, wow, that was really dramatic. Like,
right. It's kind of overkill, but also, like, okay.
Because they don't explain it. Like, they don't build on it.
It's just a little bit unsettling for that part of the movie, especially before you really know who he is. Yeah. Like, it's just to make you feel like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I think the movie would be called Incrediboy, because that was the name that he wanted to be
when he was little.
A kid.
I love that. That's good.
I think that would be cool. Question 11. What is your favorite villain merchandise?
Now, this was
to go
hard,
digging.
guys. Like, I literally spent, like, at least 20 minutes just looking for villain merch because, like, we don't collect villains. We're just very much hero collectors. So we were like, this is hard. So, of course, I had to go with a pin for this answer because that was literally the only thing that I had. And I did have a few different villain pins. Mostly in like sets and stuff, but I have this one, and this is a playing card hidden Mickey pin, and I think this one is from 2014, and it is the Evil Queen. So it's Snow White's villain, and she is on the Queen card, which is of course perfect. Yeah. And so this one was in a Hidden Mickey set with like different characters as the playing cards. So I think the other one I'm still missing a few in this set, but the other one I have is the Jack card, and it's Jack from The Incredibles. So they, yeah, this is a really fun set. But let me show you this pin.
She looks pretty fabulous, I have to say.
She does, and I love the purple in the background. That's like her color. And yeah, so this was one of like 3 villain pins that I have, and I'm pretty sure that's like the only villain things that I own. So.
Yeah. We found this Darth Vader popcorn bucket.
Yeah, and I do think we have some Star Wars villain stuff.
Yeah.
But
the one that I went with is actually also Evil Queen.
Oh, that's funny.
Which is kind of funny. It's a Tsum Tsum, because I love my Tsum Tsums. And what's fun about this, I'm going to show you up close. So here's what she looks like in her Evil Queen form. She looks fabulous. I love her, like...
Look at that collar.
It's pretty fantastic. But then...
Oh my gosh!
You rip her open, you tuck her in, and boom!
That is so scary.
She's the evil hag! And so, it's like a reversible Tsum Tsum. Her nose cracks me up. I think it's so funny. So, yeah.
That's so disturbing.
Yeah.
But also
there
really
are several of these that were like swappable villains. There's a Jafar one where he goes from his normal form into the genie form. And then there's a Maleficent where she goes from normal to dragon. But this one just cracks me up because her nose is so wide. It's so like long and beaky. I think it's so
crazy.
Funny.
So you technically have like 2 villain things in one.
Yeah. This is 2 pieces of villain merch in 1 piece of villain merch.
Wow.
So this is definitely my favorite piece of villain merch that I have. Question 12. Who is your least favorite villain?
So I took this to mean like the villain I despise, like I hate. I'm like, no. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm glad we're the same. Because I was like, what does like least or like least favorite mean? Like, I don't know. So I just went with like the scum. So other than Jafar, which I didn't put as my answer, but that's also just gross. The villains I put for this answer are Sai and Am, the Siamese cats from Lady and the Tramp. They are the
drive me crazy.
Worst. They're so mean and just they like do everything just to get Lady in trouble. And then it works.
Even though Lady's trying her hardest to make it, like, fix everything that they're messing up.
And then the lady who, like, who's she supposed to be? Oh, yeah, the aunt. Is, like, they're her cats, and so she, like, takes their side and is like, they're angels, they didn't do anything. And then she blames, like, oh my gosh, that scene makes me so mad.
The injustice of it.
Yes. And then they're like, I'm just gonna make this mess and blame it on you.
Yeah.
God, they're just, yes, they're definitely like my least favorite, meanest villains. I don't like them at all.
Yeah.
My poor, innocent lady.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Gah. Okay, anyway, rant over.
So for my least favorite villain, I'm sorry if you love this character. I know there are a lot of people that do. I'm just not one of them. It's Kylo Ren. I know. I mean, I will reserve judgment until episode 9, but I'm not a fan.
I just don't get it. Like,
I don't like, because he rides this line where he's not quite committed to being a villain, but also, like, he's not a good guy. He's not a good guy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, pick a side, dude. Either be evil or be redeemed. Just don't do this weird in-between. I don't like it. And I don't like him as a character, and I just...
But if you like him, or
it's
you
totally
like him,
fine.
that is totally
It's up
good,
to
and
you,
we
your
still
opinion.
love you.
We still love and support you. We just think you're a little crazy. No, I'm just kidding. But he's just not my cup of tea. And question 13, which is the final question, is honestly probably my favorite question, because it is, who is your favorite villain sidekick?
Yeah.
I love the villain
There
sidekicks.
are so many amazing sidekicks. Just to name a few, like I already named Jasper and Horace, Lucifer. You've got like Smee. You've got just like all these really
Pain and
fun
Panic.
villain sidekicks that are just
LeFou.
like, oh yeah, LeFou's a great one.
Yeah.
So the one that I decided to go for is actually one of my favorites, and he's like super funny, but
He's not trying to be.
but not like he's
Right.
all serious, but he's really hilarious, and that is Sir Hiss from Robin Hood.
That's a good one.
And honestly, like Prince John is a funny villain
Yeah.
too, like not trying to be, but is. So to have a funny sidekick too is also, they're just like, they're a pair.
Yeah.
So it's really, really fun, but I love Sir Hiss, and I love that he sleeps in like
The little
bassinet.
bassinet.
Like,
Yeah.
that's just, yeah, his whole everything I just love, and it's
Yeah.
so funny.
The villain sidekick that I went with is one of those characters that I feel is not a villain at all. He's not trying to be evil, he just happens to
Doing
be
his
in this
thing.
situation, and that's Wiggins, who is Governor Ratcliffe's right-hand man.
Oh!
I love Wiggins. He's one of my favorite
He's like
characters.
the twig guy, right?
Yes,
He's like,
yes. He's one of my favorite characters in Pocahontas in general. He's so funny. It's like, we give him an English welcome. Ooh, gift baskets! I just love him. And he, like,
He's
takes
so
care
pure.
of Percy. And he's, like, I just love him. And when Radcliffe's getting dragged off, he's like, good help is so hard to find these days. He's so funny. And I love him so much. And I feel like he's one of those Disney characters that I feel like I relate to. I feel like I'm a Wiggins. And, yeah, he's my favorite villain sidekick, for sure.
So that is our villain tag for today. Again, thank you so much to Rowan and Taryn for tagging us.
So this tag was created by Lanice from Elsie Enchanted, and we'll try to link that video down below as well.
So thank you for creating it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And now we would like to tag some people to answer these questions as well.
Yes.
So the first person we would like to tag is Vicky from Vixen Lost in Disney. Now she is one of our wonderful villain-loving friends,
Yes.
so I know she's going to absolutely nail these questions.
The next person that we would like to tag is Jessie from Miss Cherry's channel, who is also a sizable villains fan. Like, I think she likes the villains a lot, so we'd love to see your answers as well.
And the final person we would like to tag is our good friend Yvette from Happily Ever Evie, and I would love to see your answers to these questions and see your villainous side come out in these questions.
So that is all we have for you for today. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up.
And subscribe down below.
And be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time we upload.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Bye.